Once on the wide savannas of Africa, there lived a young lion called Cato. He was powerful, skilled at hunting, and fearless. But he carried one flaw. Cato cared too much about what others thought of him. He wanted everyone to like him, to understand him. One day, after a long hunt, Cato finally caught a large deer for his meal. As he carried it back, a group of hyenas appeared in his path. Their leader gave a sly, mocking grin. "Well, like the mighty lion," he said, "stealing food from helpless animals. What a bully." Cato froze, anger rising inside him. "I'm not a bully," he replied firmly. "I earned this. I spent hours hunting. This is my food." The hyenas burst into laughter. "Did you hear that? The great lion is trying to defend himself." One of them sneered. "How amusing." "I'm only speaking the truth," Cato insisted, his voice growing stronger. "I'm not a bad lion. I only hunt when I need to eat," Cato said. "I don't kill for no reason." "Of course," one hyena replied with a smirk. "That's exactly what every bully says." "I'm not a bully," Cato shouted. But the more he tried to defend himself, the louder the hyenas laughed. "You think you're above us?" They mocked. "You're cruel. You're selfish." Cato kept explaining, desperate to be understood. "No, you're wrong. I'm a good lion. Just yesterday, I helped a weak cub not long ago. I even shared my food." Still, the hyenas only laughed harder. At last, they walked away, leaving Cato standing there, exhausted and heavy-hearted. His meal was right in front of him, yet he had no appetite. What hurt most was seeing the hyenas so pleased with themselves. They had made the king of beasts beg for their approval. That night, Cato went to visit the eldest lion in his pride, a powerful figure named Jabari. His face was marked with old scars, and his mane had begun to fade with age. He was a lion everyone looked up to. "The hyenas mock me every day," Cato said. "They call me a bad lion. But it's not true. How can I make them see the truth?" Jabari gazed at him calmly. "Why does their opinion matter to you?" "Because they're wrong," Cato replied, confused. "I need to correct them." "Why?" Jabari asked again. "Because that's not who I am." Jabari paused, then spoke quietly. "Do their words change who you really are?" "No," Cato admitted. "Then why let them control how you feel?" "I'm not letting them control me. I'm just trying to defend myself." Jabari slowly shook his head. "When you keep explaining yourself to those who only want to tear you down, you lose, and in doing so, you make yourself smaller." "You make them your judge," Jabari said. "So what should I do?" Cato asked. "Just ignore their insults tomorrow." "Watch carefully," Jabari replied. The next day, the hyenas came across Jabari resting beneath a tree. "Look at that old lion," they jeered. "Too lazy to hunt, living off the work of others." Jabari didn't move. He didn't even open his eyes. "Hey, old lion. We're talking to you." Still nothing, only silence. The hyenas glanced at one another. "What's wrong?" Too weak to answer. At last, Jabari slowly opened one eye and looked at them. His face revealed nothing. No anger, no fear. Just calm. Then he closed his eye again. The quiet grew uncomfortable. The hyenas seemed unsure what to do. One of them spoke again, but this time with less confidence. "We're just saying you used to be strong." Jabari remained silent. The hyenas began to feel uneasy. Without Cato reacting in anger, their game lost its excitement. One by one, they walked away, feeling oddly foolish, though they couldn't explain why. From a distance, Cato had been watching everything. He was amazed. "You didn't say a word," he said, but they still left. "How? I didn't fight them." Jabari replied calmly. "I simply chose not to play their game." "But didn't you feel angry?" "Their opinions don't matter," Jabari said. "I know who I am." He placed a paw on his chest. "That truth is here, not in anything they say." Then he added, "Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like Cato? Have you tried to explain yourself to people who refuse to understand? Have you ever felt exhausted from defending who you are?" Think about it. Kato reflected on those words for many days. And the next time the hyenas returned, he was ready. There's Kato, the cruel one. The hyenas shouted, the selfish lion who only cares about himself. Kato felt anger rising inside him. He wanted to argue, he wanted to defend himself, he wanted them to understand, but then he remembered Jabari, so this time he chose differently. He looked straight at them, calm and steady. He said nothing. 1 second passed, then 2. Then 3. The hyenas waited for a reaction. When none came, they pushed harder. What's wrong? No excuses today. Finally admitting we're right. Kato kept his gaze fixed, his expression unchanged. One young hyena shifted uneasily. Why is he staring like that? I don't know, it's strange. Maybe he's planning something. Another whispered. Still, Kato remained silent. Slowly, the hyena's confidence began to fade. Their insults no longer had any weight. Finally, Kato spoke. His voice was quiet, but strong. Think whatever you want. Then he turned around and walked away. The hyenas just stood there. They came for a fight, but Kato gave them nothing to fight. Weeks passed. The hyenas tried many more times to make Kato angry. But every time, Kato either stayed silent or stayed calm. So calm, it was like trying to fight with a mountain. One day a hyena asked, "Why don't you defend yourself anymore? Don't you care what we say?" Kato looked at him. Why should a lion care about what hyenas think? He didn't say it with anger. He said it like it was just a simple fact. And in that moment, everything changed. The hyenas stopped coming. There was no fun in attacking someone who didn't react. No joy in insulting someone who didn't care. Before I finish this story, I want to ask you one more thing. If someone insults you tomorrow, what will you do? Will you explain yourself like the old Kato? Or will you stay silent like Jabari taught him? Share your answer below, I'd love to hear it. Now, here's how Kato's story ends. One day, Jabari saw Kato walking by. His head was held high, and he no longer paid attention to the whispers around him. You've learned. The old lion said yes. Kato replied, I spent so much time trying to make others understand me. I forgot that the only understanding that truly matters is my own. And what do you understand now? Jabari asked. That a lion doesn't need to explain himself. A lion simply exists. Jabari smiled. You're no longer a cub. You've become a king. From that moment on, Kato carried himself differently. Not with pride or arrogance, but with quiet certainty. He no longer needed to prove his strength. It was clear he didn't need to prove his goodness. His actions spoke for him. And when others spoke badly of him, as they always would, their words passed by him like wind over the grass. Because Kato had finally realized something important. When you no longer feel the need to defend yourself, no one can truly defeat you. True strength doesn't come from explaining who you are. It comes from knowing who you are. And once you know that, other people's opinions lose their power. A lion doesn't explain himself to hyenas. He simply lives his truth. Stop defending, start living.